Good morning, everyone. As promised, I told you I'm going to try to get a couple of videos in to share some recipes of my mother's, the way she cooked for my very Sicilian father. Very fussy Sicilian. So I'm going to start today with something very easy. We're coming up on the summer. P.S. Do you like that I match my kitchen? I have a predominantly black and white kitchen, and I put pops of color for every season. But anyway, love black and white palette. So here's what we're making: Italian potato salad. And I'm going to show you the potatoes. These are red potatoes. They make the best potato salad because they have a nice, smooth consistency to them. They don't fall apart when you boil them. Of course, you don't want to overboil them. And you know, I learned a little trick a couple of days ago from watching a video of Ina Garten. When she boils potatoes for potato salad, she waits until they're still a little firm but cooked, and then she puts them in the strainer with a clean dish towel over them, and it continues to steam them. And she said it makes a great consistency, so we're going to see if that works. Okay, there are the potatoes. And then basically this is what you're going to use. We got some red wine vinegar. We've got some olive oil, but the main oil in this is going to be corn oil, and I'm going to tell you why in a minute. Salt, pepper, oregano. Main ingredient, oregano. That's the flavor that you want for an Italian potato salad. And last but not least, we got some garlic here that I'm going to chop up. So I'm going to pause this video here and there so you're not watching me do tedious things. And let's see if this works. Okay, so I've been peeling the potatoes. And the best way to do this when the potatoes are already cooked is to hold the potato in your hand. And don't use a potato peeler because you're going to take half the potato. The skin of a red potato is very thin, a lot thinner than other potatoes. So really you just need to give it like a little niche with the knife, and it peels right off. And I already did all the other ones. And that's it. Nice clean potato. And I'll show you these. Okay, they're all peeled. And see this bowl? It's a nice shallow bowl. It's not deep because you don't want the potatoes sitting in a pool of vinegar and oil. All right, so let's continue here. So I'm going to cube the potatoes up. And again, I'm going to do this in my hand. I find this to be the easiest way. So cut it in half. Cut it in half again. And then with a little knife, this is just a little paring knife, you're going to cut the potatoes to the size that you want them. Again in half, and then in half, and then cube them. Okay? So they're not, you know, I'm not a consistent person when it comes to the size of things. I don't think that matters. I've talked about my mother-in-law before. She was a perfectionist. Everything had to be the same size. Everything looked beautiful. But when you're making a potato salad, I don't think it matters. If there's a few that are a little bigger, a few that are a little smaller, but say I started to cube them up. So I'm going to pause. Okay, so the potatoes are all cubed up. Now I'm going to add some garlic. And again, I'm going to do this in my hand. I find that when you want fine, fresh garlic, this is foolproof. If you're not afraid of your knife, I'm not afraid of my knife. I know how to do this. I've been doing it for years. Just make the scores in the garlic while you're holding it, and you can really get the pieces nice and small. Look at that. Little small pieces. Let me show you another one. So I got the garlic, and I'm scoring it all the way down. I'm going to score it the other way, and then holding it in my finger. Comes nice. You get a nice flavor too. And don't forget to hit the garlic with the knife before you start cutting it. When you hit the garlic with the knife, all the flavor comes out of the garlic before you take it out of the skin. All right, I'm getting a little I'm cheating now a little bit. Okay, those are a little big. That's okay. I'll eat those. I love garlic. Okay. All right, so there's the potatoes. There's the garlic. Now, next thing you're going to do, this is so easy. So easy. I don't know what I'm showing you, but I promised some things from my mother, so that's what I'm doing. So this is some corn oil. You know, depending on how many potatoes you used, maybe I put about a half a cup. Now, just for good measure, because we're Italian, I'm going to put a little bit of olive oil. But here's why I don't use a lot of olive oil in something that's going to be refrigerated. It coagulates. Olive oil, when it gets cold, when you take this potato salad out of the refrigerator, you're going to have those little clumps of olive oil in there. It does coagulate. So when I'm going to do something cold, I love corn oil. No flavor to it. High burn tolerance. You can use it for anything. It's great. Okay, so oil. The potatoes are coated with oil. And then we have just red wine vinegar. And you're going to be generous with this. This cap is ridiculous. I wish I could get the cap off. No, I can't. All right, so we're going to go this way. So you want to see the red. You want to see the red wine vinegar. That's beautiful. Okay, next. We got some black pepper. A couple of shakes. We've got some salt here. Into sea salt. And don't overdo it with the salt at first. You can taste it. If it needs more salt, you can add it. If you got too much salt in there, you cannot take it out. And this is the flavor of Italian potato salad, oregano. Now listen, I've been to parties before where people have served Italian potato salad, so they say, with mustard. Mustard mixed into the dressing. Oh my word, you want to hear something funny about me? I do not eat any condiments. Haven't since I was a kid. I cannot eat mustard, ketchup, relish, mayonnaise. The taste of it just does something to me, and I can't eat it. So I cannot put it in a potato salad. This is an Italian potato salad. Simple ingredients. Toss it around. Go easy. You don't want to smash those potatoes up. These are still a little warm, which is the best way to start mixing is when the potatoes are still a little warm because it's going to absorb the oil and vinegar. Beautiful. And that is it. That's how my father ate Italian potato salad. And that's how my mother did it. And Ma, this one's for you. Look at that. I'm taking one right out of the bowl. Oh. Feel like a kid again. This is just how my mother made it. I thank you. I will be back again. I hope I did okay with this video. First time filming myself. Finally figured out where the pause button was. Anyway, have a great day, everyone, and I will see you again soon. Enjoy your Italian potato salad.